we have the scorecard from the 2026 Detroit Pro, and this was interesting to me. One of the things I wanted to point out immediately was the flip flop between Chris Jones and Leandro Perez. Leandro Perez was beating him at the start, and then it flip flopped. But here are some of the guys from the top call out. Blessing Awodufu. You have, I think his name is Derek Dollinger in the blue, Nathan Epler in the middle, Mo Fuda in the red trunks, and then all the way to the right of the screen, the guy who kind of looks like Dennis Wolf. His name is Aaron Gully. So Aaron Gully placed 12th respectively. Mo Fuda won, which I don't think I can argue with. He looked really good. Nathan Epler had a really good. He came in that top 6, and I don't know if I've seen him in an open show before. Even the dude who placed last year, which was the Derek guy, looked really impressive.
Quarter turns,
and then obviously,
heavily.
Obviously, Blessing looked impressive. He did play second, and I think he deserved it.
It's more so judging.
He looked really good at the show.
The competitors,
very improved.
I guess
he didn't have the best legs from the front, but they were better. And you know what? I do like his calves. They're not the biggest, but they're like more defined.
Next to him, Aaron Gully.
Like most of these guys, like Aaron Gully over there on the right doesn't have any calves at all. Nathan Epler has
he's got a great back.
Shallow calves. So does Derek.
In that lineup,
it's very rare to see good calves anymore. Mo Fuda has pretty good calves.
I think he placed all
and
the
I
way
definitely
down
agree with the placings of the show. Is judged really well. Is done really well.
Blessing.
That side relax was
the
really
quarter
competitive
turns,
between Blessing and Mo.
I think not that they don't mean anything. I think
it wasn't super close on the scorecard, but I think in a couple of the shots,
guys
did
can
really push him.
Poor quarter turns, but really good mandatories.
Definitely more
Nathan
conditioned
Epler
than I
did surprise me at the show. I think he was classic
back
before this.
He was more conditioned than I thought he would be based on when we saw him at the lead. Like that ab and thigh shot right there.
I know that I've never seen him in an open lineup.
He did have some distension at the show, which I definitely don't think should be ignored. He has to absolutely fix that next time he gets on stage, because his obliques are spilling over his shorts like crazy. And you could tell, like, the more tired he got while he was posing, it was an issue. All right, so moving into the second call out, or I think these are just, so moving into, I guess, just the next. So this isn't technically the second call out. They just shuffle the guys around randomly. But on screen, you have Ron Gordon, Chris Jones, Abu Kanate, Walter Martin, and Elias McCall. I think Abu Kanate placed 11th. Martin McCall placed 12th. Or Walter Martin, placed 12th. Elias McCall got 3rd at his pro debut. Chris Jones 7th, and he was gonna look really good here. And I think Ron Gordon was in 9th or 10th place. Look, I pause right here just because these two in the middle really impressed me. Abu in the blue, very thick muscularity and just decent condition, but Chris Jones was good condition all over. Good size too. He wasn't very small, I felt like. But that dude Elias on the end is a whole nother story of mass. That dude is definitely, he's not very aesthetic, but he is this. When you look at mass monster in a dictionary, he's the guy who would pop up. But look at that lower back density on the dude Chris Jones I was talking about. That's why I feel like he was underrated. Walter Martin also looked good in that rear relaxed. Now here in the back double too. Again, I think Walter Martin still looked good in that one. Elias McCall, he looks good through the lower body for sure. He's the biggest up there. I had to focus on Chris Jones' back just because it's super detailed. You hardly see backs like that. Yes, he had the distension issues, but his weren't as bad as Blessing in my opinion. And I don't know. He was so detailed and crisp everywhere. I feel like he could have moved up a slot or two. This side relaxed, I got to give them Elias McCall over there on the end for the extra size and good condition too. Really, really thorough condition, especially for a pro debut. I think in this lineup, other than Chris Jones, he's the most shredded guy. He also takes the front relax too. He's very imposing there. Walter Martin hits a good front relax though. I like his shot there. But the issue with Chris Jones is he can't control his midsection due to that hernia. And he obviously can't help that. He needs a surgery to fix that. But if he can fix that, he will 100% win a show. And I felt like even with the midsection issues, he could have placed higher. So it'll be very interesting to see if he competes again. in the 2026 season. And yeah, here is the next call out of guys. So I believe I really thought this was cool. I really think shows should do more smaller call outs like this, like 3 to maybe 5 guys max, just because like it's hard to judge past 6 competitors in a call out, and sometimes there's like up to like 8. So I think like these smaller call outs I like because they're easier to judge. Chris Miller over on the far left, he got 5th. Very impressive look from him. Very, very thoroughly conditioned. He peaked very well. I don't think he could have peaked any better, actually. And Patrick Moore, he showed up very improved. The conditioning wasn't as crispy as we've seen from him, but it was a different package. Him trying to show the judges a fuller look. He placed 4th here, and a well-deserved one, in my opinion. You're going to hear me talk about how I feel like he's improved. Here in the front double bicep, I'd actually give this one to Chris Miller. He's just got a little bit of extra size over, I think, the other 2 competitors in that grainy conditioning, plus some awesome biceps, too. They take up his whole arm, and they're huge. You know, good leg separation. They could be bigger, and the midsection just appears to be a bit tighter than the other 2, while the chest is also harder, a bit fuller. Patrick Moore would be placing 2nd, in my opinion. Leandro Perez, though, you can make an argument for him, I guess, in this one. He does have good biceps, but he's really blurry through the quads. He's really blurry from the rear. His calves aren't as balanced with Patrick's, so I'd probably give Patrick the pose over Leandro. Leandro is just kind of off here. Side relaxed. Chris Miller for me, but Patrick Moore always has good side shots, just very complete. I think one thing Chris can fix is his midsection. Because he doesn't have the biggest legs, so he can't afford to have any type of midsection issues. He's got to have his midsection perfect. I pause this right here to just show like how off Leandro was and how on Patrick and Chris were. Patrick could have been more on, obviously, with condition, but I still felt like he peaked pretty well for what the judges and the people have been asking for. Like, you saw the back condition in there. He's handily taken this back double bicep. He's the widest. He's the most complete. Chris Miller has the extra conditioning through the hamstrings and the calves, and I would probably say through the upper back, but it was pretty close between those 2, actually. So it was really cool to see him stand side by side right away, because that's how it was. It was Patrick Moore 4th, Chris Miller 5th. And again, you're seeing the conditioning come out on Chris, like he's coming to life more as he hits those poses. And yeah, no, so I honestly could have even... They didn't judge it all the way, but I probably felt comfortable Patrick winning that call out. And then the call out previous to that, I had Elias McCall winning with Chris Jones in 2nd. And then the first call out, obviously Mo Fudo winning with Blessing in 2nd in that call out.
By way of Dublin, Ireland, the man they call the Boogeyman, competitor 84, Blessing.
Here are the individual posing routines. I'll talk about these just a little bit so I don't make this video terribly long, but I felt like the posing routines this time around were actually pretty solid for the competitors. I liked Blessings here. He really put on a good effort to really do a good posing routine, you know. I don't feel like open guys really have that energy. Like, he kind of showcased, like, he was very confident. He had the energy that you just don't see anymore. And you know, it was a decent posing routine. It was definitely not like the best in the world, but even that like quarter bicep pose, that, I mean, just him making the effort to try to do a good posing routine. It was decent through the transitions. And yeah, obviously he's got to fix that extension, because he's not quite balanced enough and big enough to have that. But he has come up a lot from what we saw from him, and size-wise, we've never seen him with this kind of size. Just got to make sure that midsection is crispy, and he can easily qualify for the Olympia this year, in my opinion, based off this look, if he comes in sharper with a better midsection. But yeah, I'll just talk about just a couple of the posing routines and then keep it at that. Alright, so a bit of Chris Miller's posing routine. here's a guy who I honestly think could probably qualify for the Olympia this year if he picks the right show and makes the right improvements to the legs, to the just overall size in general, and to that midsection. It was only snippet, but yeah, he is impressive to me.
10th at the Olympia one year?
Okay, so this was a really good show in my opinion by Patrick Moore. I heard people say he was off. I just don't agree with that. He showed the judges a different look, which was fuller, which was bigger, and he was in a pretty solid, pretty thorough condition. No, he could have been more peeled inside and out, but he just gave the judges and the fans what they've been asking for a while, which is size improvements, and I do feel like he kept up a lot more size-wise than he has in years past. So if he can just get a little bit more crispy, he will win a show, and if he picks the right one, peaks 100%, 100% with this new size that we're seeing from him, I think he can go back to the Olympia. I know a lot of people are saying, like, he's a joke. I think I would say he could go back to the Olympia. Like, that back has improved tremendously from what we saw last year and the previous years. Like, it has improved a lot. So I don't know if he's going to the Arnold UK. I'll have to see about that, but if he is, I would like to see him there. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, Patrick Moore, 4th place. I think he deserved it, and I think he can win a pro show this year. Let me know what you think, though. Okay, so I'll talk about Leandro Perez lastly for the individual posing routines, just because so many people had him as a winner going into the show, and I just kind of wonder what happened, because he was just off from the conditioning mark he needed to be, like, pretty far. So I'm not exactly sure what happened to where he, like, didn't hold on to his condition, because he looked, in my opinion, he didn't look ready heading into the show, so I think he just wasn't ready. And he tried to come in too early, and he had still some conditioning to do, which I think is true, because in some of the physique updates, and I'll try to see if I can find any from this show, he just didn't look super just like peeled like the other guys did to me. So I mean, he obviously is still very impressive, but I just kind of want to know, do you think he rushed into the show, or do you think that there was something wrong with his peak?
But okay, who do we think? Right now, like, not sure. Honestly, I got, like, Nate's in the top 5. I think I have Mo Fuda winning at this point. But I want to see them next to Patrick and Leandro. Chris Jones is a standout as well.
I want to see Nate, Mo, Chris Jones.
Yeah,
for sure. I want those 3 next to each other. And I honestly do think that the conditioning is going to hurt Patrick and.
I wonder if this is Chris. I think this is Chris Jones' debut. I've never seen him at another show.
Yeah, I can't recall seeing him before, if I'm honest. But I am impressed. Stand out for me here. I'd like to very much see him in this first call out.
I think right now the way I see it.
86 Nathan, 87 Mohammed,
Okay.
83 Elias, 95 Patrick, 96 Leandro.
Oh, I saw Chris Jones in that call out myself.
Okay, here we go. The first call out, it ended up, I think, being top 6 call out. So we have Blessing Awodibu. This is left to right. Blessing Awodibu, Nathan Epler, Mo Fuda, Elias McCall, Patrick Moore, and Leandro Perez. Front double to me is gonna go to Mo Fuda here. But guys putting up an argument, in my opinion, are Elias McCall, Patrick, and Blessing. I think probably Patrick in second in this particular shot. He just jumps out the most to me. Elias needs more separated biceps, for sure. Let's see this front lat spread. This is one where Elias could possibly be winning due to the extra size, but I could still give this one to Mo Fuda. Patrick Moore, probably third. I think Mo, then Elias, then Patrick. then probably Blessing in that one. Blessing just looks a little bit wacky structurally in that one. Side chest, though, I'll pause this one right here. I do have Mo Fuda winning in this one. I think Elias McCall could use more work on his chest. I don't know if it's the way the lighting is hitting him, but Leandro Perez actually does look pretty good in this one. I'd be comfortable giving him second place in this one, actually. Because, like I said, he surprisingly looks good. Blessings turned too far towards the judges. Nathan Epler looks good, just kind of undersized. And Patrick looks good, just not conditioned enough, but great shape. He always hits the side poses really good. But I think Mo, then probably Leandro, honestly. So Leandro does get second in a pose. He does at least push a little bit at the show.
Nathan looks great conditioning-wise and shape-wise.
All right.
Yeah, he's giving up a little too much.
So it was Mo in the side chest. Let's see if it's him in the back double again. I think in total overall completeness, I could give it to him. Elias McCall, if he gets more of that lower back dugout, some more like finer details like you're seeing on Mo, like you're seeing on Patrick, even on like Leandro, just some finer details in that back area itself. He can be dangerous because that's a wide back for sure. I think he's got one of the wider backs up on the stage. But Patrick, very, very good in this one too. Very, very improved. At least I thought so. I just really had to pause it there because Patrick impressed me. Mo Fuda impressed me too. I thought this look was a lot better than what he brought to the Arnold. I thought he was decently off, at least prejudging. He came in pretty good for the finals, but he was kind of off. This is a much more... I may have just been the lighting, but I think he just looks way better here. Back lat spread, though. Elias McCall, if he wasn't leaning back so far, could possibly be taking it. He's got the... Yeah, I'd be comfortable giving it to him. Then Mo Fuda. Then probably Blessing. I haven't actually had Blessing winning a ton of these shots so far. Let's see the side tricep. Mo. Patrick looks really good, though. I think I'd give this one to Patrick. He kind of always wins this one. Again, Blessing in this call-out, he's just facing too much towards the judges. He could be winning this one. I'm not exactly sure. Elias looks pretty good. I like the way he's executing his. And yeah, I would give this to Patrick. Then I'd probably even give this to Elias over Mo. Then Mo, then Blessing. Then Nathan, then... Or maybe Leandro over Nathan in that one, actually. Just because of the extra size. Ab and thigh, though. Elias was surprisingly impressive to me in this one. Patrick Moore overall, I think, caught my eye the most, like, balance-wise. But if we're talking, like, size and overall everything, it's hard to ignore Mo Fuda. He was pretty solid here. Blessing looks good when he can control those abs. I think he should just put one leg forward more. The Nathan Epler guy, he had the good condition. He comes from Classic, so he's going to have a good ab and thigh. And then Leandro looked decent. And yeah, I mean, everyone did look pretty decent in the ab and thigh. And that's why I paused it here. This pose is becoming slowly more important, I think, to the judges and how the show is judged. I think the guys with the poor, like the really bad ab and thigh, I don't see like a terrible ab and thigh up here. Like one that I would say is like really, really just horrible. But I think the guys with the bad ab and thighs are really being placed kind of low. But I would actually say like most guys overall, like ab and thighs are a pretty strong pose for most of the top pros today. But that's just an opinion of mine. And really that opinion is based off of the Sean Roden win back in 2018. He beat Phil Heath, not in the back as it has been for so many years, but from the front in the midsection, because Phil Heath had that bad hernia that year. Alright, here in the most muscular, another shot where everybody looked pretty impressive. I wanted to show you Nathan, because he kind of impressed me there. And then Mo Fuda, the striations through the quads are crazy. I think he wins that easily. Elias McCall, really big. Patrick, again, size improvements are what I am looking for, and he is looking like he is hanging with Leandro over there size-wise. I heard some people say Leandro looked downsized at the show. I'd have to look at his past comparisons, but I think I'd give this one to Mo, then Elias, then probably Blessing. He's got a good most muscular, but Patrick and Nathan were surprises there. I think they're just going to take him through the poses one more time. I normally wouldn't go over like when they shuffle him again, but I've kind of been liking doing it, especially for this show, because they put Blessing closer and he's now facing more head-on, so we can get a better comparison. So let's see now how the poses stack up. Front double. Yeah, see, I think now Blessing's the one who's pushing in the most. Like when you can see he's in the proper lighting, he's in the center stage. That's where he's going to be pushing him most. Front lat. I really just kind of want to focus on Mo and Blessing here. I'd give this one to Mo Fuda over Blessing, but I still think Blessing is going to push him here, as you'll see from the side.
Leandro, I like his physique, but I feel like,
and even from the back too. You know, side chest, you could make an argument for Blessing winning that. Just the extra little bit of like density, I'd say, in his arm and delt area, and he does look just pretty sharp here. Now, he's not the sharpest in the lower body from there, but I felt like his upper back was actually decent. You know, he actually does look pretty good in the back double to me. Yeah, I'd have this Mo, then Blessing, and then probably Patrick. But he does look really, really, really impressive to me there. Blessing does. His back, I know people said he was softer from the back. I think so. The size-wise, he's still pretty impressive to me. Rear lat spread, I want to consider giving to him because of that extra bit of size, but Mo is just more complete, and you can't. I think when it comes to size over completeness, I think completeness will always win over just pure size. He definitely smokes him in the side tricep. I don't like the way Blessing's hitting this one. He needs to arc his back more, bring out his chest more, and he needs to flex his tricep more. Alright, in the ab and thigh, Mo Fuda really, really, really sharp. Blessing, that side ab and thigh shot is really, really good for him. The hand over head, not so much. And then here in the most muscular, I want to talk about Blessings for a second, because, yeah, his was impressive to me. Wouldn't do that hands on hip exactly because of his midsection issues, but he does have the ab detail, so I guess he can pass. The crab there, though, on Mo was really impressive to me. I think he could beat Blessing there and that. But Blessing did push him a bit size-wise, I think, and he was much better than we've seen him before. Alright, so a closer look at the second call-out too, as well here. So they put Chris Jones in the middle, next to Ron Gordon, who was also in the middle, as well as Abu Kanate. And it was interesting to me, because Abu placed 11th here, and I feel like he probably could have beat a couple of these guys. I think they'll probably move the gentleman on the end, Chris Miller, in more, because he did place 5th at this show. I think size-wise, conditioning-wise, he's the overall best in this. Again, Chris Jones in the middle is still very, very, very impressive. I think now that I'm taking a closer look next to these guys, he is quite a bit undersized. Even next to a guy like Ron Gordon, he's getting outsized, and Ron Gordon is not the biggest guy on the stage. So he will need more size, but super, super impressive balance. Very, very, very impressive. I would give this one to Chris Miller 100%. He's 100% taking that. Full as a house through the shoulders, through the chest, through the lats. His legs don't look like a weak point, actually, in this particular lineup. I think the other guy, two guys, well, there's the other 3 guys you see on the left side of the screen, Ron Gordon, Aaron Gully, and then Derek Dongler, didn't have the best legs to me, but Chris Miller, Abu Kanate had crazy quads from the front, the side not so much. the Martin guy really impressed me, and then Aaron Gully, he just really reminded me of like a less conditioned Dennis Wolf. He could go pretty far if he gets that in shape and make some good improvements. The back double here, I would be comfortable giving that one to Chris Miller, even though the size disparity is there. He is super complete head to toe. You see the calves, the glutes, the hamstrings, the lower back is fully there. Ron Gordon was impressive to me. Chris Miller, though, I could see you giving it to him over the gentleman in the middle, as he is much bigger and has the same, very similar condition. And I will definitely be giving him the rear lat spread here. Again, guys I'm impressed by here, Abu Kanate, I think maybe placing second. William Martin, I think very impressive. So I was very impressed with his back density and his overall, I think, density. He had a very dense physique, and I want to see him compete again. I want to see all these guys compete again, honestly. Like this entire lineup. I want to see everybody who was at this show compete again in 2026. I genuinely don't feel like anybody is that terribly off, other than Ron Gordon was kind of off, and Aaron Gully, as you're seeing here, was kind of off. And then yeah, I just think only like maybe 2-3 people were really truly off here, though. Abu needs to be more conditioned. He's too smooth. William Martin making a good argument for himself in that ab and thigh right there. All right, most muscular time. Chris Miller on the end all day. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up. The 2026 Detroit Pro breakdown wrapped up. I had so much fun making this video. It was definitely a lot of fun, and pretty easy to make. So if you guys want more of these videos, let me know. I will definitely be making more. It was a fun video to make. And yeah, I hope I can become your source for analysis videos. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later.